All right, Internet. So, some people were asking about my MPA DS9 and how I like it. I've had it now for 18 matches I've shot and a handful of boring practice sessions at the indoor public range, which is terrible. But here it is, currently as it sits MPA DS9 hybrid with, let's see if I get the light a little better, SRO on it. And currently it has a Chile aggressive grip and Chile magwell. So, kind of give it the rundown, my review, what I like, what I don't like. Um, we'll get the don't like part out of the way quick, and I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy. So the too long didn't read review of this gun is that I really like it, really like it, probably love it. Initially, I did have some issues with it that, in hindsight now, kind of knowing the stuff I went through, were almost definitely all caused by me. Um, Initially, when I first got it, I did not like how it felt with the 8 pound recoil spring in it. That's what it came with. I put a 10 in it, I believe. Maybe it was an 11 because that's all that I had on hand at first. Um, and all the changes I made in the initial like 2, 3 weeks of it kind of not being super reliable made it just enough not reliable that it was annoying. It was like 99% not reliable. So that means at a 200 round match, I had like one or two generally failure to ejects or failure to feeds. And going back in hindsight, those were almost definitely caused by dicking with the recoil springs and shooting some underpowered ammo initially. I had a batch of 124 grain stuff that I had left over from a long time ago that I put in it because I thought it was a little bit hotter than the 147 grain stuff that I typically shoot. And it did feel a little bit hotter because it's a lighter bullet and it's a different powder. But actually, it was less of a power factor, and that was one of the things that caused some issues with its cycling. So that out of the way right now, it's back to 100% reliability. I'm using the 8 pound spring that it came with. I'm shooting the 147 grain N320 load that I've been shooting for years. The same stuff I was shooting in my Tanfolio. Same bullet, same length, same everything. Good to go. I have a couple of MBX mags, a couple of Atlas mags. They're all good to go. The MBX ones do hold 24 every time easily. Um, and the Atlas are about 23. So I generally use the Atlas ones all the time and the MBX only if I have to cram 24 plus one in for a stage, which again is maybe once every, couple of matches. Like I said, I've been through 18 matches with it so far and really definitely liking it now. So kind of stay on the negative Nancy side of it, just some stuff to go over. I did break at like the third or fourth match I shot it, maybe even earlier. I did break the ambi-side thumb safety off. I have no idea how. The only thing I can think of is I bumped into one of the picnic tables that they have at this range in Florida and snapped it off. Although there are no scratches or marks on the gun anywhere else, it just snapped off flush with the frame. I contacted MPA and they said they'd send it over. Initially, they said they didn't know if they had any blue PVD ones, which it is kind of a nice color. All the hardware, the safeties, the grip screw, and the slide stop are blue PVD, which is pretty nice. So they didn't think they would have one initially, but they did. And when they sent it to me, they sent me both sides, which was also very nice. So I have a spare now for the strong side. Um, the other thing, and the reason why the Chili grip is on it now, is the grip that came with it. This is the aluminum S2 grip, so it's their middle aggressiveness grip. And again, it has this nice blue PVD grip safety, beaver tail, whatever you want to call it. It's just not quite grippy enough, and probably most people will think will say it's grippy enough. I would say your casual shooter guy would probably say it's grippy enough, but for me, for competition in Florida with my sweaty mitts, I definitely wanted a grippier one. So I ended up with the Chile aggressive grip, which also, to be honest, I thought I had ordered the Chile standard grip because that was on the gun that I had built from Matt Chile about 5 years ago. Um, and I guess I just ordered the wrong one. So when this one came, I was a little bit worried, but because I'm impatient, um, I just decided to keep it, and I used it. And it did draw some blood initially. It has seen a file. uh, some people watching this will laugh because they know I've done this before. I filed a bit off the front strap and off the corners because that's where it was cutting my hands. You probably can't see the marks anymore because they've healed, but here and here on the corners was definitely drawing blood, which was a bit of a pain in the ass. And the last complaint I'll say is that the trigger does rattle a little bit in the frame, up and down. See if you can hear it. That's up and down to the point where I can actually hear it in my GoPro videos while I'm shooting matches. It doesn't cause any issues. I don't feel it when I'm shooting, but it's a little bit annoying. With the new Chili grip, I don't have that problem because it came with an oversized red dirt trigger, and I had to file that down a bit. Actually, caused a few issues where I didn't file it quite enough, and the trigger wasn't resetting at high speeds in matches. So that's since been taken care of. But the Chili grip has the red dirt trigger in it, and that's good to go. When I do shoot IDPA with it, which I will, with this grip, with the itty bitty IDPA magwell, and with an aluminum guide rod, this will make weight for IDPA. So although MPA makes an IDPA gun, which I believe comes with the smaller magwell and has the shorter frame and the butler cut on the slide, this is the full length frame and full slide, and it still makes weight. It barely makes weight, and depending on the optic you pick, it may not make weight. The SRO is, I think, zero point 0.4 of an ounce lighter than the Holosun 507 comp, and probably quite a bit lighter than the Vortex, if I had to guess. So the Vortex on this gun will probably not, the Vortex XL I'm referring to, will probably not make weight for IDPA if anybody cares. And I don't shoot a lot of IDPA. I've shot one IDPA match with this, but I do shoot majors from time to time. I did win the 2023 Florida State Championship, first overall with a Tanfolio. So I'll be going back to that match in 2026 to see how we can do. But in terms of likes, the trigger was very, very good out of the box. I do like the standard magwell that it comes with. The grip shape is pretty good. Like I said, if it was a little bit more aggressive, it would probably work out better for me. Most people say that the S2 grip in the steel is actually too sharp. So just the difference of it being steel or aluminum makes a big difference in the grip. And if I had to do it again, I don't know if I'd order the steel one off the bat. It is nice that I can shoot IDPA with it. I also like that the added weight from the Chili grip um, kind of makes it feel more like my Tanfo and more like the original Chili I had with the extra wide frame that I shot in limited 40 major, all that stuff. So as you can see, it has the Chili grip, has the extended shooter's connection mag button, which I kind of need so I can get to it without having to shift my hand, which isn't the worst thing in the world to have to shift your hand to get the reload, but I don't really want to do it. I don't have to do it with the Tanfo. I don't um, have to do it anymore with this gun. The problem with that did generate a few times, and if you've followed any of my other YouTube videos, you'll see the mag likes to fall out on barrel starts. Not table starts, because if the gun is flat, it doesn't do it. But on a barrel or something that's curved, if you push down on the gun, when you go to pick it up, the mag will fall out. It's happened, I think, twice. So to fix that, I actually got some extra power magazine catch springs. So this has a Wolf extra power mag catch spring in it with two coils cut off, and now it's perfect. It's definitely stiffer than the one that came with it, but the extra power spring without any coils cut off was kind of a pain to hit. It was very stiff. So that's in there now. A little bit of grease in the channel and polished the actual outside of the mag catch. It's really smooth now. Also have a tungsten guide rod in here. I do like it for the weight. It helps with that, massive 9 millimeter recoil that we all deal with shooting limited optics. But just for balance reasons, I like it. It probably doesn't make a huge difference, but I had one here in my old bucket of parts from when I shot 2011s more often, so I threw it in, and I did like it, so I keep it on there. Um, and like I said, it does a dual purpose. It's IDPA and USPSA limited optics. I've since shot a few think I shot 3 GM scores with it in the last month or so. I have 103% on file for Can You Count, which is kind of one of my money makers. That type of enclosed gun manipulation stuff I'm good at. The actual good shooting stuff, not so good at, but draw, blast some splits, and do a reload real fast. I can do. So that's pretty fun. Right now it has the 5 MOA SRO on it. Actually, I haven't shot it with this on it at all. I took it off another gun last night, put it on there just to try it. Um, I noticed just at the outdoor matches, the 2.5 was just washing out in the sun a bit. And I shoot so many more indoor matches that I really never noticed it. And then now that it's getting to be summertime in Florida, I'm looking for the slightly bigger dot. So we'll see how that goes next weekend after I get a chance to zero it, and it should be good to go. So overall, I would give it I don't know, I guess I'd say a 9 out of 10. Uh, Things could always be better, I guess. I can't really name anything specifically that I would want to be better. I mean, the slide to frame fit, you probably can't even, I mean, it's not moving anywhere. Some guns you grab by the optic and you can twist and you can see the frame moves or the slide moves on the frame. None of that. Barrel lockup is good. Accuracy is good. Um, what else? It does, like I said, run a lighter recoil spring than my Tanfo. In the Tanfos, I always liked a 10-pound recoil spring, and that gets it to return quickly and get back on target. With this one, like I said in the beginning, I was kind of chasing ghosts there. Where the first practice session I had, it just kind of felt like a noodle with that light recoil spring, and I think part of that was a little bit of a break-in process, and part of it was just kind of getting dialed in with the gun. And immediately with the 11-pound spring or the 10-pound spring I put in it for the next weekend, it felt better, but it lost some of that reliability. Um, then over the course of the 3 matches or so, I kind of went back down to the 8-pound. It completed some break in and went back to that working ammo that I had, and it's good to go again. So, like I said, really digging it, and I liked it so much I ordered a MPA Lock V2, which is the 4.6-inch slide with a sight block on the end. So it'll be a slide that's about this long and has a steel sight block that's threaded onto the end of the barrel for a little bit of weight out front. And we'll we'll see how those compare when they come in. Oh, I guess I didn't mention when it first came, it had a 28-ounce trigger pull out of the box. Um, since then, I actually replaced the hammer spring with a 15-pound. Um, I just like how it cycles a little bit faster with a 15-pound because it doesn't have to push against as much to unlock it. And that's where I was, chasing ammo and recoil springs and stuff because I wanted to feel like my Tanfo again, where the slide was just cycling a lot faster than this was feeling. So with the 15-pound spring in it, it actually came down. I think it had a 24-ounce trigger. Yeah, it was a 24-ounce trigger, and I shot that for a little while, and to be honest, that's on the sketchy side. Never had any issues with it, but um, there may be a couple times where you come into a position prepping the trigger, and you blast an alpha a little bit earlier than you might expect. Since I've put the new grip on, and I was having a little bit of problems with the trigger resetting, like I said, it was oversized in the frame and it was dragging a little bit. I added a little bit more trigger return tension on the middle leaf spring, and the trigger's now about 2.4 pounds. Or is it 2 point? It's about, yeah, it's between 2.2 and 2.4 pounds. I don't remember exactly. But honestly, I don't notice it on the clock at all. And the extra trigger reset force is really nice. Like there's no trigger freeze at all shooting this gun. The trigger comes out quick. You have something to push against when you're prepping the trigger. It's really nice. So I'm not going to kind of mess with the sub 2-pound triggers with this gun. I don't think it's necessary. Accuracy is fine with it this way. So we'll keep it this way. I know the Lock V2 is probably going to come with a pound and a half trigger. Um, I don't know if I'll mess with it out of the box or not. And I'm not sure. I'm thinking I might even put this Chile grip on that new gun when it comes and then sell that other grip because people are looking for them. And MPA is not selling the steel grips directly anymore. So I might want to do that because I do prefer the texture and the contours a little bit more on the Chile. One thing that MPA grip has, it's nice. This indent is nice here that the Chile does not have. The front strap on the Chili Grip is straight. This has a little bit of a curve, but on the MPA, and you can't see it, there's no texturing on it at all until about here. So this middle finger that goes up under there has nothing to really grab onto. And it's not that it really slides around, it's that when your fingers are sweaty, it just feels like greasy, for lack of a better term. So that first touch when you grab the gun out of the holster, it's just not confidence inspiring, I'll say. So you can see I've made this grip super ugly with the skateboard tape on it, and didn't necessarily do a great job. Only shot this for a few matches this way, but the grip tape helps. Uh, if I could get an S3 in the aluminum grip, I probably would. Um, and we'll see what the S2 in the steel, which is what the new gun will have on it, will feel like when it arrives, and we'll go from there. So hopefully this wasn't too boring and monotonous, and you actually watch it to the end or not. Click like and subscribe, etc. Whatever. I don't care. Any questions? Let me know. See ya.